All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. This is Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. Right? And during the time where the MOTB is the main focus of what everyone's being guided to, right? Which is now as well anyway, right? But when all hell breaks loose, the overall end result of what people are going to be slowly getting guided towards is taking an MOTB, right? And when you're outside and you see all of these people, man, they just look like zombies, man. They don't know how to walk properly. They want to try and have these like little stupid battles of I'm not moving out the way, you're not moving out the way. Like, it's all childish foolishness. And then if we decide to play the same game as well a lot of the time, some of these people wouldn't even like it anyway, right? They wouldn't be able to handle it, man. It's like these people can't even walk straight, man. I'm trying to dodge these people so I don't bang into them. And it's almost like they deliberately try to walk into my path some of the time, man. These people are weirdos, right? These people are looking for a reason to try and be like, see, black people, I knew they were like that. I knew these people are like that, but they're the ones that are trying to initiate it with us. And one of the things that I was thinking about when I was considering those things is that, man, like, it's going to really take us everything that we've got, man. Everything that we've ever learned. Every time that we ever made a mistake and was too weak in the spirit to overcome certain things. When all hell breaks loose and we have to not take the MOTB, that one opportunity, we got one opportunity in that time to be forgiven for everything else that we ever did wrong with by not taking an MOTB. Now, in the spirit, we've already been forgiven anyway if we're of the elect. But during that time where the MOTB is put before us, man, we're going to have that chance, that one last chance to be like, nah, I'm good. I'm good to just leave Earth, man. Right? We're going to get that one chance, man. I'm looking for a scripture where it says, ye have not yet strived against blood, not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. But I can't remember exactly where it says that. I want to say it was Hebrews 8, but it's not really looking like that's the case, to be honest with you. Let's try Hebrews the 12th chapter. Okay, the warrior about Shem Yoshai. This is Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 4. You have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. Now, taking the MOTB is a sin. But we have not yet in our lifetimes now had to be unalived for not doing a sin. For not doing the sins that we have did. There's never the option of us losing our life was not there. But now we're going to have the chance to where that's going to be the only other option. Right? Either do the sin or be unalived, right? And that's a big thing because so many of us Israelites, all of us as in the nation anyway, have sinned several times, once upon a time. But this is going to be the first time where you're going to, you like, because Jake's have already sinned when it wasn't under the threat of being unalived. So when it comes to this point, it's going to be like, okay, do I really believe in these laws? Do I really believe in this God? Do I really believe that there's a God in the heavens that made a Messiah, right? Do I really believe that there was a man that walked the earth that was called Abraham and he was told that his descendants are going to receive this beautiful thing? Do I really believe he had a son called Isaac? Do I really believe that his son Isaac had a son called Jacob? Do I really believe that Jacob's son had a brother that was called Esau and that they're walking the earth right now and as the Edomites, right? And that the descendants of Jacob and Esau are just destined to hate each other? And that's the reason why so-called white people don't like so-called black people. Do I really believe that if I don't take this, I'm going to receive glory in the heavens and on earth, and that my name is going to go down as a person that was of the elect forever, and I'm going to receive a crown on my head? All of these things are going to come into your head, man. And before you even get to that point, right, things that you're potentially doing now are practice and training for not taking the MOTB, really, man. All these scumbag people that we have to deal with, and all these antagonistic scumbags, all of these adulterous women that you have to steer clear of, all these carnal jakes that are looking for a fight that you have to steer clear of. All these bugged out people in the world that have got so that are stressed out and have got a lot going on and they want to try and take it out on you, right? They might all these wicked ass people that might have got into an argument with another Jake, and then you look a bit more civilized. So now when they see you, they want to try and take out what their anger and what they wanted to do with the other Jake that they knew would have went upside their head straight away because he was the grimy 2/3. But now they see you and you're a bit more civilized looking, a bit more humble looking, and now they want to try and take it out on him and be like on you and be like, yeah, see, that's what that guy gets. But they didn't actually win the battle that they wanted to win, but they're trying to take it out on you. These are some of the things that happen in this world. Now, no one's going to admit that some of these things that we say we're correct about these things. No one's going to admit that, yeah, the way how these men look at this earth, they're right. No one's going to say that. No one's going to give us the props for how we view this world. No one's going to admit that we're telling the truth with how we talk and how we see these things, man. They're going to say that we're paranoid or they're trying to try and gaslight our reality and all of that. But we know what we're talking about, man. We know what we're talking about. We know exactly what's going on this earth. This is Revelation, I think it's 3 and 10 that I'm looking for. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Now, it's already in the spirit that you're going to receive the salvation if you're going to receive it anyway, right? But preparing your mind for some of the kind of things that you might see in this time that we're getting ready for, man, is necessary, because we've not really seen the wrath of Yahweh yet, man. Just imagine a little cute kid, right, that loves their mom and all that, and they run to their mom for a hug with their arms out, but really in the reincarnation, that's a 2/3 Jake. But you see him, you're like, oh, that little boy's handsome. That actually looks like it could be my son, right? Oh, it looks like that could be my son. It reminds me of my nephew. It reminds me of a little child. It reminds me of something that you seen when you're younger, and they just get a gruesome judgment happen to them, man, because Yahweh remembers what they did in a past life. Now, in the earthly eyes, it's going to look like a little child's just been judged, a little child has been unalived. But in the heavenly realm, what's actually really happened? Now, you seeing that happen in the day of the Lord's wrath, are you going to still believe in Yahweh seeing that happen, or are you going to be like, man, God wouldn't do this? God wouldn't do this? Or how about seeing 5 beautiful looking women that all look humble, they're dressed in so-called modest apparel, they got head wraps on, right? And you just see a building fall on top of them, man. And you're like, why? They weren't dressed like hoes. Okay, they weren't dressed like hoes that day. But maybe they just started trying to dress in modest apparel because they knew that something's happening in the world that ain't normal. So they try to change up the thing and they was going to try and be preparing to try and fake like the Hebrew Israelites and find one of the elect and try and ruin their life and make their life miserable while all hell's breaking loose, man. We don't know none of these people are. We don't know how many of these people are scoffed. You don't know how many of these people are scoffed. Some of these people might literally be a work colleague that you're going to see get judged. Might be a work colleague of one of your fellow Israelite brother, man, that's been making their life miserable all the time in the workplace. Or might have been a person that fired them in the past unjustly. They might have fired him because we're gonna have to give him a pay if he stays. We're gonna have to give him a pay rise, and we don't want to give him a pay rise. And our company actually benefits if we don't give these people a pay rise when we're supposed to, and we just ship them out and then bring in the next person, and then they'll go through the probationary period, and then we fire them as well, or we give the jobs onto the people that we want to give them onto, and we make sure that we keep these blacks down. And we never give them, like, these are the kind of things that Jake be going through. I remember one of the elders, man, when he was telling a story about his workplace and one thing he was going through, man, right? When he's on a job with the Edomites all laughing and joking and talking about, oh, we should go out and take our wives out for dinner and lunch and all that. And then he's going back to the manager over him, trying to get him fired, saying, oh, he's taking a longer break, trying to get him fired. But he's smiling up in his face every time. And I know about stuff like that with these Edomites, man. I know about all kind of stuff like that. I know about that. They'll be all smiling and laughing and joking in your face, me talking all that workplace stupid, dumb conversations, all the weather, all the sports, mate, football, mate, and all that. And you're having to fake like you want to talk to these idiots about whatever dumb sport they want to talk to you about, right? But the moment you say one thing that they don't like, they're going to try and ship you out of there. They're going to try and get your ass out of there, man. They don't want you to have a job to be able to feed and to stay in your family. They don't want you to have nothing. They don't even want you outside eating grass, eating the grass from the park. They don't. That's more than you deserve in their eyes. They were like, "Man, save the grass for the cows, mate." They don't even want you eating. Don't even want you eating dirt, man. They don't want you to have. These Edomites don't want you to have nothing. This is what you have to understand. They don't want you to have anything, man. They don't like you, and they definitely don't love you. But our mind has to be set on like what kind of things can we potentially see in the day of the Lord, so that when we see all of these things, we don't have to be like shocked. And here's another thing for the day of the Lord, like as a warning to men that believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. When the day of the Lord comes, which is all in the spirit anyway, and in certain situations, a brother might do the opposite of what I'm going to say here, but it's for salvation for a particular individual, right? But during the day of the Lord's wrath, don't be no captain save a hole, man. Don't be no captain save a harlot where you see women getting judgment that they rightfully deserve, and you step in, yo, that's a female, yo, because you might get your head taken off. Now, in some situations, there's going to be women that are actually of the elect that are going to receive salvation by a brother stepping in, by a brother of the elect stepping in, whether it be an apostle, an elder, a brother, teacher, whatever it's going to be, that they're going to step in and they're going to save a woman from the hands of wrath, because that was set up in the spirit for that to happen, right? But there's also going to be situations where women are going to get judged and men are going to see them get judged, man. Micah 7:10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eye shall behold her, now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. Like trying to save these people, like, nah. Or you've got a work colleague and they're trying to ask you what's going on. Or what's going on, mate? And mate, you've got to get out of that location. Bun all that telling them what's going on. Because that same person might have just been trying to get one over on you to try and get a promotion before hell broke loose. And now that everything's going down, now all of a sudden they want to start trying to be nice to you and that. Then, nah. Like certain of these women that are proud towards you, brothers, right now, don't feel like it's, oh, my lucky stars have came through. Oh, thank my lucky stars, because this same woman now is lusting after me and she's all smiling up in your face. She's smiling up in your face because she's scared. Because she's praying. Yeah, let's bring that word back. She's going on up in your face right now because she's praying that the day of the Lord's here and she don't know what to do with her stupid ass, man. So now she's thinking, wow, man, I really fucked up, huh? And she's trying to test the waters with the men around her to try and make sure that they're safe, so that she can see who she can try and use and take advantage of. Because that's all women most of the time try and do in this world anyway. They're all trying to see who they can take advantage of. And that's why the scriptures say that their heart snares and nets. And that's why they're like, none of them are really content in their relationship, because they're always looking for more and more and more, because they're comparing themselves to another woman that they're ungrateful as well. And keep thinking that they deserve more and that there's just more out there, which is what Eve did. Eve just kept more and more and more. She was in paradise, man. All these thousands of years later, and no woman has yet seen a greater lifestyle than what Eve saw. Do you understand now? You understand how heavy that is? The same miserable Eve, man. She has had the most cushy life. She had a better life than all the women in the kingdom of Solomon. And them women were miserable when you go into the scriptures, man. But Eve had it good, mate. She had it excellent. Adam didn't even have to work, didn't have to worry about working. But then after what her wicked ass did, by the sweat of thy brow shall he eat bread. Now he's got a farm now. But Eve didn't have to worry about no job. Eve didn't have to worry about jobs. Didn't have to worry about no job. The earth was on cruise control when it came to fruit and vegetables growing, man. It was on cruise control, bro. It might have been a thing where you just, like on the movie Noah, where you just drop some water in the ground and a plant just grows up straight. But you wouldn't even have to drop no thingy. You had to drop no water. It hadn't even rained them times. You know what I mean? There was a dew that grows up in the morning, man. The earth was on cruise control, bro. It was planting itself. You understand? And none of the women since Eve have had a better life. But what Eve was chasing, as we get further and further and further to the end last days, what Eve was chasing is what these women have now received. Am I wrong? Am I wrong on that? If I'm wrong on that, someone tell me, right? What Eve was suggesting, what Eve was trying to hope for from the serpent, right? Oh, there's another way to live. There's another way and all that, right? Is that not what these women right now have got? And are they happy? So Eve wasn't happy, and the women in the last days, they ain't happy. So who had it better than Eve as far as women goes? Who had it better than Eve? Which woman on earth had a more peaceful life than Eve? None of them. And every single generation of them has been more and more miserable. So like when it goes down, don't be feeling sorry for these women, man, because they're the ones that cause this anyway. When you really deep it, the majority of them are the ones that caused it anyway, and trying to be some captain saver hole while everything's going down. But then that shows that wisdom and knowledge is not the stability of your times. Have you seen how many videos there's been made about women? Men, brothers will just be chilling talking about one topic. Elders will just be chilling talking about one topic, and apostle will be just chilling talking about one topic, and then women comes up. There's only really a few topics that come up, man. Esau getting judged, women getting humbled and judged, right? The MOTB, World War III, Civil War, the return of Yahushua, martial law, the return of Yahushua. They ain't really even more than like, you can really like condense everything that we're waiting for to happen into about 10 topics, man. 10 points. Us getting salvation, right? The Israelites being scattered among all nations. There ain't too many points to this left. But it can all really be condensed into just a few things. Yahushua is a so-called black man. But that Yahushua being a so-called black man and us being the Israelites, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that's all covered in that one topic, man. There ain't too much else to be spoken about, man. But the women's is definitely one of the points, a heavy one. That's like a heavy sign that we're still in captivity, how proud the women are. And then the thing is, it's not even a prerequisite that they have to be attractive for them to have all of this pride. It's not a prerequisite that they have to have wealth or status themselves either. Although they always be thinking that men should be having more of that than them. And then if they do, the man doesn't get no special privileges for having it anyway. She's still gonna try and think that she's equal to him. She's not. Women don't. Where is it at that any of you brothers out there or men out there can say that you've seen a woman say that a man's better than them? I've never seen a woman say that they think a man's better than them. And that's why when they be talking all this, where are all the good men at? Because they actually think that they deserve one. Do you know what I mean? Like, just imagine a man that ain't attractive in any kind of way that women find attractive to women, right? And him asking, where are all the baddies at, man? Where are all the 10 out of 10 women at, man? Where are all the beautiful, sexy women that are going to be excellent wives and not get on my damn nerves and just do everything that I want, right? Where are they at, man? Well, do you even deserve one? Why are you wondering where they are for? They're running away from wherever you are. Same thing with the men that these women are asking for, man, all the good men. Why would a bad, wicked-ass woman deserve a good man? Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. You want to save one of these women? You want to save one of these? Like, we have to really think about all the different things that are going to be experienced in the day of the Lord's wrath, man. What kind of things are we going to see, man? We might see Jake, our own fellow people of our own nation, getting grabbed up by another heathen nation, man. Could be Esau, could be any, and getting done over, man. About to get made to be strange fruit. You understand? Now, are you going to go over there and save them? You're going to be outnumbered if you go over there and save them. Is that person that you know of that believes in Yahweh Shem Yahushai? If they are, well, that's a whole other situation in itself. That's a whole other situation in itself where the spirit might be on a brother to help a fellow Israelite brother that be like, nah, you ain't about to do that to none of my people that believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And that's where the spiritual power comes in, right? But for just the everyday random person that you don't know, why are you going to help? Why? For what reason, man? Were they helping you now in this world? If they seen you looking like you're having a bad day, did they be like, oh, what grieves you? What ails you, my brother? Or was they looking at you laughing with a mocking face? You understand? What was they doing? When these women saw you looking like you're having a bad day, or looking like if you saw you're not looking like you're happy on a particular day, did they run out of their way to help you? Or did they try and add even more on and think that it's funny? Which one was it, man? Because I'll be seeing brothers doing all kind of rants, all kind of raving. All the men have got something to say about the women, you know. As much as they even want to try and not say something. And some people are better at not talking about it than others. But everyone's got something to say. And why is that? Because no matter what relationship any man in this world is even in, the women are always still thinking that they deserve a better relationship without them actually being a better person within their relationship. They haven't made sure that they're a Proverbs 31 woman and then started looking at their man and being like, okay, I've reached Proverbs 31 status now. Now what are you going to do? They're thinking in their mind, I would reach Proverbs 31 status if only you would get your act together. that's what they're thinking. Now, someone can say, oh, my man's chatty shit, you know, he's hurt by a female. All right, if you want to think that, you can go ahead. But I'm telling you what I believe to be true, man. These women, how this society is set up, have been made to always believe that they deserve more. And because there's so many adulterous women, it's not easy for a man that's went gym today, right? Let's just say any of us brothers went gym right now in a vest and some shorts or whatever, in a vest and some tracksuit bottom, and now our arms and our shoulders have got blood all filled in them, right? So we look more hench than we actually really are on a normal day. And then we walk down the street and we look at a woman and we give her a Hollywood smile, twink, good twinkly eyes and our teeth twinkle in the sun. Yeah. Ting. Now, that woman's only seen us walking past her in the street for 2 seconds. She don't know nothing about us. But in her mind, she's thinking all kind of things about us in her mind now that ain't true. And she's going to go home. She might look at her husband and start thinking, oh, why ain't you gone gym and do, and why ain't you been thingy doing things? Why aren't you like that random person that, you know, that's how it happens in this world. A man sees a woman for like 10 seconds and she just starts thinking she likes what he looks like, or maybe, and then now she just starts thinking bare positive thoughts about the geezer that probably ain't even true. And now she starts looking at her life thinking, oh man, what's going on with this? And even men do it. Men might see a woman, they see her ass is fat, and now they start thinking, yeah, she's a good person. No, she ain't. She's a demon. There's a man right now glad that she ain't at home. You understand? That's what it is. Isaiah, that's what it is. And that's why according to this is one of the things that I've noticed is a thing that gets said is when men might be talking about the women, they say my demon. They say they refer to him as my demon. Why is that? That's not really a term of endearment, is it? Now is it? Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 19. So they shall fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. So there's going to be certain situations where men are going to step in and help women. Men are going to step in and help Israelite children. Men are going to step in and help fellow Israelite brothers. Men are going to be given the power to defend themselves from certain people, man. Here's another situation that can occur. 10 Edomites think they got you cornered, right? And this doesn't even have to, I don't even have to describe this as one that's corner. And they think you got you cornered. You run round a corner and then you think it's a dead end. And you just start calling upon Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And then they're all like, mate, where's he gone? He can't have gone far. Let's go. And you're right there looking at them all. You're right there just looking at them all, man. But another brother might go through the same situation where they think they got you cornered and you start calling upon Yahweh Shem Yahushai and they all start running. And you're wondering why they're running. Why did they run for? And an angel was behind you. And another situation can occur like that, and you get cornered, and you start calling upon Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and they start running. And you're thinking, why did they run? And it's because now you've got fire coming from your hands, or you've got a fiery aura around you, man. And they're like, man, what the hell is going with this geezer? Or your eyes have changed color. Your eyes have become red, man, like they look like they could shoot lasers out. Or your height and your stature's changed, man. Yeah, or your teeth have turned into fangs, man. Or your face and your countenance has become so manly that no man's even trying to dare test. Yeah? Or they come around the corner and they say, wasn't you the guy believing in Yahweh, talking all that Bible thing? And you say, yeah, I was. And they all just drop dead on the spot, man. They all drop unalived on the spot because that was a test for you to see if you still believed in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And you say, yeah, I was. And I was calling upon Yahweh, but Hashem Yahushai, and they all just drop dead, man, when they hear the name with how powerful you said it, man. There's going to be all kind of standards that Yahweh's going to lift up against them. All kinds, man. But it's good. It's a good thing for us to prepare our minds for all the gruesome things that we're potentially going to see, because the day of the Lord ain't no joke, man. And the day of the Lord ain't just a day for us to be collecting all these women either, although that's going to happen. But that's not the main thing of what we're waiting to see. We're waiting to get on them chariots, man. There's going to be a whole bunch of people that get a little fake taste of Isaiah 4:1. Not the real version, but a little fake taste because they might be strong looking in the world. They might have a house that's safe at the moment. So 7 women, his own portion of income, but that's not going to last though. That's not going to last. There's going to be some people that are going to fake like they know what's going on. These wisdom guys, they're going to fake like they know what's going on. Oh, yeah, ladies, this is because of the war in, you'll be safe with me. You'll be safe with me. But he ain't real though. He ain't knowing what's really going on. He's about to get judged himself and don't even know it. Warn you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it, man? There's going to be a whole bunch of judgments for these people, man. So we ain't the world's saviors yet, man. These people, you have to remember, all these scoffing and all that these people are doing right now is for the same reason that you know what? Let's get this. I don't think I've read this scripture for a long time, man. All the scoffing and all that these people have did right now is because they don't want Yahweh Shai to rule over them, right? And if they don't want Yahweh Shai to rule over them, that also means that through joint ownership, that we're gonna be joint heirs for Yahweh Shai, but of a lesser degree, that they don't want us to rule over them. So we ain't these people saviors. Luke chapter 19 and verse 27, but those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. So it's not going to be our job in the time to come to be trying to save these people's souls. In fact, if you believe that scripture as it's read, it's going to be more likely the opposite. But then, like I said, there's going to be certain situations and occasions where some women are going to receive salvation through men that believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That's going to happen also, because there's balance to all things, man. A false balance is an abomination unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. There's going to be a lot going on in the time to come, and a lot. And when you read the prophecies, it lets you know the kind of things that we're going to see, man. Like, we're going to have a hell of a story to tell to our descendants in the kingdom of heaven, man. We're going to have a hell of a story to tell. And every single time we tell that story, it might sound completely different, man. Might be sitting down in front of 100 sons, 100 daughters, right? 50 grandchildren, boys and girls mixed in there, right? 50 great-grandchildren. And we're only a few years into the kingdom, man. And we're just telling his story. Gonna have some children the same age as our grandchildren, some children the same age as our great-grandchildren. Right? Like, we're gonna have a lot, man. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 14, and it shall be as the chase roll. What happens when an animal's getting chased in that jungle? That lion ain't playing around, man. As soon as he gets him, or that cheetah or that jaguar, as soon as they get him, they're grabbing on that neck and they're twisting it off and they're renting it off. And they're making sure that they're grabbing it and diving into the woods. Yeah, they're breaking that neck. That's what they're doing. And it shall be as the chase roll, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone to his own land. So all of you kumbaya, trying to be, oh, I'm all about the people. I'm like trying to just be everyone's everyone and everyone's everything, trying to join onto the heathen. Well, that's not what's getting ready to happen, man. The heathen are going to be getting ready to be against you. So some of you Jake Coons that live in an Edomite neighborhood and you finally think you made it, and that you've got your Edomite friends and that, right? All right, Tone, all right, and all of this, mate, bun all that. That ain't nothing, man. And you're thinking when another Jake moves around the neighborhood, you're trying to, oh, I don't fancy it like of him, and you're spreading more rumors and trying to make Jake's life harder around the neighborhood than what even Esau's doing. Overdoing it, man. Being even trying to be a better Edomite than Esau. Or Jake moves in, starts another job, and you're there trying to worry about trying to stop him from getting anything in the job and that, and trying to make his time hard on the job or her time hard on the job, right? Because you want to be the only Jake in the workplace, man. You waste, man. You look a coon, bro. You look a Menelaus wretch. Yeah, you look a Menelaus, bro. Which he was a top level demon, man. Menelaus. He was a real scumbag, man. But some of you Jakes have got the same spirit as that. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. So when these people are everyone going back to their own land and everyone's dealing back with their own people and they see a person from outside of their group, they're going to be trying to thrust them through, man. They're going to be want to try and do them dirty. You understand? Because it's going to be easy to do it. It's going to be easy if you catch one person slipping. That's easy. 100 people against one, 10 against one, that's easy. That don't make you a tough guy. That's just easy. And they all get to feel hard. They all get to feel tough because they had a so far skewed advantage. That's easy to do. But these are the kind of things that's going to be happening in the days to come, man. And do you believe that? And you might be having to hide off for a time and witness that, man. Because if you come out from where you're hiding, they're going to see you and do the same thing to you, man. But in the spirit, Yahweh has you witness and see the things that Esau does when they think nobody else is looking towards Jake in the day of the Lord's wrath, right? And be like, yeah, just wait till we get you in the kingdom. Watch what we're going to do to you. There's a whole bunch. You have to, Apostle Gabar says you have to have an imagination when considering all of these things, man. And that would have to, if according to the balance of Yahweh, go for all things, the good and the bad, man. Like it's already a thing that you should be considering that you might have to have your head removed for believing in Yahweh by Shem Yahushua and not wanting to take the MOTB, right? You might lose your woman that you got if you got a woman right now, or you know your woman that you've been with for a bit of time and that, and you've went through your good and bad, so-called good and bad things and all that. You might lose that, man. You might lose your children. Your children could potentially be 2/3 in the spirit. Now I'm not trying to put that on nobody, but it's possible. It's possible for anybody that's got children, man. Your woman could be a 2/3. Your woman you could be a brother that's dating outside of what it looks like outside of their race, and you could think your woman's a white Jake. No, she's just a red Hebrew Edomite, man. That could be a thing too. And okay, she made you tuna casserole. She learned how to season food and all that, and you're thinking, oh yeah, that's why you think she's a Jake, but she could just be an Edomite. And when the MOTB gets made mandatory, she's trying to take you to get it and all that. Come on, Dwayne, let's take this. Okay, I stuck with you now with all that Bible stuff, but now it's getting serious now, all right? So you better stiffen up and just get on with it. You know what I mean? What are you going to do if your woman says that to you? You're going to take it? You're going to say, okay, honey, you're right. The charade of us being a Hebrew, all right, we was only joking about being Israelites, but now that it's getting real down to this hanky-panky, let's take the MOTB now. Because you're right, babes. You know what? You're right. You're right, Sue. Or whatever the hell the woman was able to be. You know, what are you going to do? You going to take one? Because your woman says to take one now? Or are you going to say, yo, fuck you? What are you going to say? Hey, yo, bun all that what you're talking, I'm out. Kick rock, or your woman comes in with an MOTB in her hand. Now it don't make a difference whether she was a white Jake or not, does it? Or if you got a woman that's in Elam and that, and you think she's an Elam Jake, yeah? Or she's an Indian Jake. Because the attitude she gives, when she just twists her neck, she twists her neck like a black woman, you know? All right, well, now it don't matter what kind of Jake she was. She 2/3 because she took that MOTB. So it don't matter what kind of Jake she was. And it don't matter how round it was neither for you. No matter how nice you think or thought her body was, she's not one. What are you gonna do if a brother that you thought was of the elect ain't the elect and they take the MOTB? What are you gonna do then? What are you gonna do? These are things that you have to consider in your mind, which don't hope for them. But these are things that is beneficial if we consider in our mind. I'm considering them right now. That if you consider them in your mind, you can reject the MOTB. You understand? You can reject it, man. You can be like, nah, I'm prepared to, I've already lost a lot already anyway, and I'm prepared to lose even more to not take this. So go ahead and whatever you think you're going to try and tell me and tempt me with, I ain't getting tempted by none of that. Because I'm already dead to this world. That's what you got to hope you're going to be like. Now, we can all hope that. Just like how men, when they think about getting into a fight, they think, yeah, so what's going to happen is I'm going to step in. You already know I do. I'm going to double jab. He might miss the first one. I'm going to plant the other one on his shoulder, then right hand straight around the pipe. Yeah, that's how you think the fight might go. But how it actually goes is you throw that double jab, and the next thing you know, he's picked you up and body slammed your ass through the ground. But you thought it was going to go one way, but it goes another way. But then what are you going to do after you get slammed into the ground? If you do get slammed into the ground, you're gonna give up fighting? Or you're going to get up and still keep fighting for your Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai? And I'm using it as an analogy. Or you thought because of how much zeal you had according to the words of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai that you wouldn't end up having to face the guillotine? All right, now what if you do? Huh? What if you do have to face the guillotine? What are you going to do then? Are you going to get sour and think, man, so all them videos I did, all them long videos I did and all this and all that, and all the camp and all the, and I still have to have my neck in a guillotine? Nah, man, I don't believe in this God, man. I thought I was doing all these videos so I would escape the guillotine, but here it is, I'm still in the guillotine with my neck in the guillotine, and I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair that I should be in this situation. Why? There was men that was doing way less works than me, and they're not here in a queue to get a guillotine around their neck and have their head removed. Why am I here? Well, maybe you've got a stronger portion in the spirit, and you're supposed to be tested more. You gotta consider that. Yahweh Shai didn't do anything wrong, and look what he went through. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor with Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Right? We gotta have to consider a lot of things, man. A situation where you've been stranded on the street for a few days, you stumble upon a house, you by yourself, you stumble upon a house, it's a man and a woman, they save you from off the street, and they're just normal looking people. They give you some food, it's not human meat or nothing like that. They give you some food, right? And you start noticing while you're in this house that the woman's giving you the eyes on some adultery thing, right? But it's the end of the world, right? It's the end of the world. You could quite, and you see that you could overpower a man if you want to, right? Beat him up or whatever and have his woman. She already wants you. You could beat him up, throw him out the house, unalive him, throw him out the house. You gonna be that kind of person? You're gonna be an adulterer like that? Because according to the Bible, we're not supposed to be an adulterer. So what are you gonna do? Or you gonna lust after the man's wife, and then he ends up seeing it, and then now that could be a test in the spirit where that man's rage stirs up and he unalives your ass in that house, man. Because he was getting tested whether you would be an adulterer, or are you gonna thank them for helping you and stay for the night or whatever, and then keep it moving in the spirit? Plenty of situations. Oh, you end up stranded in a certain house for a bit of time. It's a bit safe. It's safe enough, but the only food source there is all abominations. You end up in a butcher's, right? And you end up around all foods that are just only abominations, man. Just only abominations. What are you gonna do? You're gonna eat the abominations? Oh well, the Lord wouldn't want me to starve. Or are you gonna keep some faith and not eat none of that? And then later on, you end up in a place where you end up around foods that's not abominations. Or you're going to eat the food and then you might stay over cooking some food and abominations, sizzling it up. And then the moment you step out of that house, there's some heathens with straps and they just blaze you down, man. Yeah? And that is a test in the spirit. There's a whole kind of situation, man. Wisdom and knowledge, there shall be the stability at our times, man. The scriptures say, never trust thine enemy. There's people out there know are your enemies right now. When all hell breaks loose, you're going to all of a sudden believe that they're not your enemy no more because they're trying to be nice to you? What are you going to do? Like, there's a lot to consider with this thing, man. There's a lot of different routes and ways that the day of the Lord can go for you. And it's better to just consider the reality that every single evil thing that you could potentially see, you might see all of those things, right? But Yahweh's going to protect you through every single one of those, man. So that you've got a great hell of a story to tell. Because already, brothers out there have already got a crazy story to tell of all the things that they started going through when they started believing in Yahweh by Shem Yahushai anyway. And I ain't trying to say you're supposed to want to have a worse life, but it's a beautiful thing to have a great story to tell when we get into the kingdom, and that's a beautiful thing. Rather than the 2/3 that are going to have no story to tell, apart from how there was just not it. And on that, I'm going to say, in fact, no, you know what? Now there's more to read on this. Verse 16: their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. This is the kind of thing that's going to be happening to some of these scoffers, man. To some of these heathen. These are some of the things that's going to be going on. Like, these things are not a game, man. Like, these things are going to be making people be screaming out blood-curdling screams. These people aren't going to be playing. They're going to be screaming out like their life depends on it, because it does. Now, a woman's scream naturally has an echo in there that makes a man want to help her, right? But in the time to come, are you going to be some Captain Saver? Now, in some situations, the Spirit is going to be for that, because that woman's of the elect, and that woman's going to become that man's wife through that. But in a lot of situations also, that's not going to be what's occurring. It's going to be that the woman's getting ready to get judged from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man. That's what's going to be taking place in a lot of situations. And I'm going to end the video there, man. Right? Wisdom and knowledge is going to be stability of our times. And it's beneficial to consider all the great evils before they even happen, because they might not all happen. But it's better to consider the reality of the evils that we may face, so that we're not shocked during the day of the Lord. Shalom.